comes around the corner and he cocks and points it at me and tells me to get the back and told her, like, I told you not to go with that girl without me.
I would never harm none of our black women. Not the righteous ones, not the dirty, not the... I wouldn't harm none of them.
I asked to, feel me, to go like separate ways. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go do some shit I got on the table and whoop, whoop. I can add you in on it and whoop, whoop. We could just, I probably after talking a few times, we just, you feel me, it wasn't nothing more, nothing less than, all right, bet. You go do whatever you're trying to do.
Stunna 4 Vegas and DaBaby were once an unstoppable duo, shaking up the entire rap scene together. But today, we're breaking down how their unstoppable rise turned into total chaos, and what really went down when Stunna allegedly pulled a gun on one of DaBaby's own artists. Stunna 4 Vegas came up out of Salisbury, North Carolina, where opportunities were slim and life wasn't easy. His dad wasn't in the picture when he was young, so Stunna tried to find a way out through sports, hooping and playing football, hoping one of them would open doors for him. His cousin, Javon Hargrave, made it big as a defensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings, but Stunna realized quick that sports wasn't his lane. So he switched gears and jumped straight into music. He started dropping tracks and doing small shows all across North Carolina, grinding hard for every dollar. Back then, he was only pulling in about $300 a night, sometimes a band or two if the crowd was right. But money was still tight. Even though he wasn't buzzing outside the state yet, North Carolina was already taking notice. Then came the moment that changed everything.
I tell that nigga right now, like, you know, I'm happy for him, because whatever you're doing now, that's what you want to be doing. That's what you'd rather be doing. I'm that type of nigga.
A local DJ shouted out Stunna online, and that's how DaBaby spotted him. At that time, DaBaby had already been in the game for years, pushing since 2015. And by 2018, his name was ringing louder in the industry. He wasn't a superstar yet, but he was definitely levels ahead of Stunna. After DaBaby liked that DJ's post, the two linked up and instantly clicked. DaBaby saw the spark in Stunna even before the rest of the world did. Right after DaBaby and Stunna 4 Vegas linked up for the first time, they hit the studio the very next day, and out came their track, Animal. That song went wild, pulling in massive numbers and officially putting Stunna on the map. With DaBaby backing him up, the momentum just kept building, and the two were locked in the booth together non-stop. DaBaby even started bringing Stunna out on stage during his own shows, giving him the spotlight every chance he got. After just a few months of rolling with DaBaby, Stunna's whole world changed. He went from making a few $100s a night to stacking thousands at every performance.
So do you think you signed a bad deal?
I got out of it. I just got there, like I said, I should have known certain that I didn't really know. Right. That my new lawyer told me, like, once he got down to the nitty gritty, he like let me know,
DaBaby was really pushing him hard, and when he dropped his Blank Blank mixtape in 2018, Stunna was the only feature on the whole project. That's how much faith DaBaby had in him. Then came a major move. Jay-Z's Rock Nation handled the distribution for Blank Blank, giving DaBaby's career a serious boost. And by 2019, DaBaby sealed a huge 7-figure deal with Interscope Records. But he didn't just chase the bag for himself. He made sure Stunna got blessed too. When DaBaby inked that deal, he pushed for Stunna to get a major label situation of his own. Stunna was already signed under DaBaby's billion-dollar Baby Entertainment, but thanks to DaBaby's pull, he also landed a deal directly with Interscope. After just a few months in the mix, Stunna was already seeing serious money coming in. He even told that he ran up almost $200,000 just from features and shows before DaBaby even signed him. And when they dropped the banger Ashley, DaBaby rapped, "I got my young nigga rich in 6 months. Play with me, get your shit bust." That line said it all. Stunna was officially on fire, and his first Interscope release had him blowing up fast. But then, everything took a wild turn. Stunna 4 Vegas started making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
It's something you supposed to do on the front end. You know what I'm saying? That's something you're supposed to do on the front end.
He made it public.
Yeah. I mean, what made what public? The fact that,
like that he wasn't with you no more.
Yeah. He ain't supposed to let niggas play like that.
Rumors spread fast that someone had snatched his chain straight off his neck. Soon after, photos of his jewelry started popping up on Instagram, and people online were saying Stunna got his chains took. But Stunna quickly shut that down. He jumped online and said the whole story was capped. According to him, he was in Atlanta for a show and had left his chains inside his car, but then the whole ride got stolen. In an interview with the Only Way Out podcast, Stunna explained that he never even saw the people who took it, and that it wasn't some street drama like everyone made it out to be. He also made it clear that he wasn't paying anyone to get his chains back. He wasn't sweating it, because, as he said, he could always buy more. Still, fans couldn't help but notice that Stunna's buzz was starting to cool off around this time. Back in 2019, Stunna was on top. He had just signed his big label deal, dropped his first major record, and linked up with huge names like Offset, Lil Durk, and Lil Yachty. He and DaBaby were dropping hit after hit, stacking numbers every time they hit the booth together. Then 2020 started off looking just as strong. Stunna dropped his second album in January, landing at number 29 on the Billboard 200. And the next month, he had the biggest track of his career with Polo G and NLE Choppa on Go Stupid. But after that, things started slowing down again. Critics weren't feeling his new music the same way they did back in 2018 and 2019, and fans started losing interest, even though he was still working with major artists and making money. When he dropped another album in November 2020, the project didn't chart, a major sign that his momentum was fading fast. By 2021, Stunna 4 Vegas had completely hit the brakes. He didn't drop a single track that whole year. Meanwhile, DaBaby was facing serious backlash after his infamous Rollin' Loud moment, which caused major fallout and cost him a lot of connections in the music industry. Then, in 2022, Stunna tried to make a comeback, releasing his fourth project. Nobody realized it at the time, but that album would end up being his last release under DaBaby's $1 Billion Baby label. Behind the scenes, tensions were building, and some wild drama was about to explode. After DaBaby signed Stunna, he also brought in another artist, a female rapper named K-Kilo. DaBaby and K-Kilo dropped some tracks together, and she started to gain her own buzz. But things got messy fast. When DaBaby's issue with his ex, Danny Leach, went public, it completely stole the spotlight from K-Kilo and her mixtape rollout. She felt like her big moment got overshadowed, and the tension at the label only got worse. Then came the major scandal. Rumors spread that K-Kilo and Stunna had a heated confrontation that allegedly ended with Stunna pointing a gun at her. Nobody knows exactly how it started, but according to K-Kilo, it kicked off after she smashed Stunna's girlfriend's phone, and the girl started screaming for help. That's when K-Kilo claimed Stunna walked up and pointed a gun at her. After that, K-Kilo started calling Stunna out online, accusing him of running away from problems back home in North Carolina and hiding out in Houston. She even claimed she smashed his phone too. But Stunna jumped on Instagram Live and called the whole story cap. He said he would never harm a woman and claimed K-Kilo was only trying to chase clout after leaving DaBaby's label. According to Stunna, she was just upset because her rap career wasn't moving the same anymore. Some fans actually thought K-Kilo wasn't capping when she claimed Stunna 4 Vegas was laying low from his ops back home in North Carolina. Stunna's name holds weight in his city. He reps Carolina hard and raps about street life in tracks like Animal. In one of his verses he spits, "He play both sides, they get him knocked off. He won't even be able to pick a side. We beat down your block, they like get inside. 2-2-3s and my niggas slide." His lyrics always painted a picture of that street pressure he came from. Allegedly, Stunna is connected with a local crew known as Yard B, and one of his close homies from that circle, a guy named Sin, reportedly got locked up on serious charges. Stunna even posted him on Instagram, showing love and loyalty to his friend. Then in 2021, chaos broke out again. Headlines started flying after reports that shots were fired at one of Stunna's shows. Rumors spread fast that someone tried to take him out during a performance, but later it came out that the shooting actually happened at an after-party. It's still unclear if Stunna was even present when it went down, but the streets were definitely talking. K-Kilo claimed that Stunna had moved to Houston because he couldn't safely go back to North Carolina, but Stunna told a totally different story. He said he moved to Houston because he fell in love with his girlfriend. That girlfriend turned out to be female rapper Mona Leo. They met at a studio in Houston, hit it off, and started dating soon after. Stunna said from the start that he wanted to be near her, so he packed up and made the move to Texas. That's when his whole lifestyle began to change. Before leaving North Carolina, Stunna admitted he was struggling with pills and lean, But once he settled in Houston, everything started shifting for the better. He got into fitness, started hooping again, and even got involved with the youth, managing an AAU basketball team. He met the players while they were practicing one day and decided to step in, buying them sneakers, jerseys, and even covering their tournament fees. By 2023, though, Stunna was ready to take another big step. He'd grown past the chaos and was tired of the rap game. That's when he went to DaBaby and asked to be released from the label. When the news dropped that Stunna 4 Vegas was no longer signed to DaBaby, the internet went wild with rumors. Some people claimed Stunna got dropped from the label, while others insisted there was a serious falling out between the two. Everyone wanted to know what really went down. While Stunna was live on Instagram, he made one thing clear: he wasn't dropped. But he also didn't spill too many details. Instead, he told fans straight up that he didn't care about being a rapper, shaking it for attention, or beefing with other artists. His message was loud and confident. He was done with all the extra drama. Some folks thought his comments were low-key aimed at DaBaby, but later on, Stunna cleared that up. He said there wasn't any real beef, they just naturally grew apart. No bad blood, just different paths. Then, in 2024, DaBaby spoke on the situation himself and revealed that Stunna had actually reached out to DaBaby. DaBaby said he still wanted to see Stunna win and had no hard feelings, but he did admit that he felt a little frustrated about how Stunna handled things publicly, saying he doesn't let people talk crazy about their situation. It sounded like DaBaby was a bit pressed about the way fans interpreted everything. Still, through it all, Stunna kept showing love. He publicly thanked DaBaby for everything he'd done and talked about how much that early support helped his career take off. Even though they both tried to downplay it, fans could tell there was more to the story behind the scenes. In another interview, when someone asked Stunna if he'd signed a bad deal in the past, he admitted that he did, but said he got out of it once he brought in his own lawyer. That move showed he was learning the game and taking full control of his career. Stunna 4 Vegas never came out and said DaBaby gave him a bad deal, but it was clear he wasn't too happy with how the money situation was moving. There's no denying it. DaBaby was the one who put Stunna on the map and jump-started his whole career. But behind the scenes, it seemed like things just weren't adding up the way Stunna hoped. For a minute, fans thought Stunna was done with rap altogether. But in 2024, he made a quiet comeback, signing with a smaller label called STB Entertainment and dropping a brand new album. Still, his fall off in the rap game was hard to miss. He went from pulling in millions of streams every time he dropped to struggling to even hit 100,000. The buzz that once surrounded his name had faded fast, and his new songs just weren't taking over like they used to. But these days, Stunna's focus isn't the industry. It's his family and his future. Back in 2023, he and Mana Leo welcomed their first child together, and a couple years later, the two got married. Now he's talking about wanting more kids and spending more time building a solid home life. Instead of chasing fame, he's chasing peace. On top of that, Stunna's got a whole new passion: managing basketball players. He's been working closely with young athletes and has even talked about going back to college to learn more about sports management so he can level up his skills. Sure, he's not bringing in the same kind of money he did back when he was running with DaBaby, but Stunna's always been smart with his cash. Even when he was racking up hundreds of thousands, he stayed grounded. Instead of flexing with luxury cars, he went and bought himself a Jeep for about $25K. He wasn't trying to impress anyone, just stay secure. Fans have been hoping for years that DaBaby and Stunna might patch things up and hit the booth together again, but it's still unclear if that'll ever happen. However, in October 2025, Stunna and Mana Leo sat down for an interview on The Breakfast Club, and Stunna revealed he did reach out to DaBaby, not for favors, but to take accountability for how things fell apart. He made it clear he wasn't asking for handouts, just showing respect and owning his part in the story.